My name is Joe Radix. I'm 41 years old. I came into prison this time when I was 37. I was out 8 years prior to that. I had through working my own rehabilitation, I began to start working in rehabilitation and actually was quite successful. I think though the problem was I kind of moved up too quickly and said yes too many times when I should have said no, and I got completely overwhelmed and burnt out. I started losing hope in people being able to change, and myself as well, and I kind of just gave up. And after that, I found myself relapsing, using steroids and alcohol. As a result of a bunch of crazy relationships and crazy circumstances, I'm back here for attempted murder, which I was able to be honest about and take responsibility for. Since that time, my whole outlook on life honestly has changed again to where it was before, probably back in 2008, and I actually believe, I guess, in the human condition again, in my condition and my ability to reach my dreams and my humanity and be able to be a complete person. I guess that would be it.
My name is Derrick Romero. I'm 31 years old. I'm in here for volunteer manslaughter at the age of 19. I was sentenced to 27 years, and the person I was before my incarceration, to be honest, I was a scumbag. I treated people as a means to an end. I was a very selfish person, self-centered. Everything revolved around me. I didn't care who I hurt, as long as I got what I wanted at the end. And I wasn't a great person. But since then, 2012, I was involved in the participation of a riot, and I was sent to the hole. And that was kind of like my tipping moment where I snapped out. Reality came to me, and getting letters from my families, the things that they were saying, everything was put into perspective. Like, man, these are the actual people who are there for me. These are the people who love me. And that's when I realized, man, I'm done. That's not who I was before.
Cool. My daily life now, here, even being in prison, if I'm not eating with the dog, playing with the dog, going crazy with the dog, I'm doing rehabilitative work or college homework. I'm really blessed to be able to do that while I'm in here and be able to advance my education and do all the things that I missed before and the things that I didn't take the time to do while I was out this last time. So my days are consumed with that, with positivity, and things that are helping me to grow and move forward as a person.
And my daily life is, honestly, if it's not with the dogs, it's just like you. I'm busy with the dogs, whether it's morning, day, or night. But on the downtime, it's either with school. If not with school, it's with groups. If it's not with groups, it's just leisurely reading or writing letters or working on my insight report.
Mm-hmm. How I ended up in the program, as I said, I was actually completely focused. I'd done AA, NA, CGA, all the A's, and but I was really focusing all my time at that time on college, getting as many classes as I possibly could and devoting as much time as I possibly could to it. So I actually initially wasn't even open to doing doing another program.
Yeah.
But it was a couple of the guys that were talking about it was their excitement and them talking about, man, I can't wait till dogs come here and what this is going to mean and how this is going to help and how we're going to change and how it's going to change the atmosphere on the yard and all this stuff. And it is slowly but surely those conversations started making me think about what my priorities need to be and how that honestly that having that relationship not only with that group of guys, but also with the dogs when they came and what that would do. I had a dog probably at different times all throughout my life, and often, like, you know, if we were renting somewhere, we wouldn't actually really be allowed to have it, you know. So I would always have these relationships with these dogs, but I always knew they were going to go sooner or later, as soon as the landlord showed up and say, hey, you guys can't have that animal here and stuff like that. So I don't know that ever before in my life I really gave myself to have a relationship like that, right? And so I thought, wow, the therapeutic value that could be in that would probably be something that I really need.
I agree with you completely. You know, when this program came into it, I'm gonna be honest, I really didn't think it was for me, because I was at that moment in my life, I had things in plan, you know, like in line for, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. But seeing everybody in the dog program at the time interact with the dogs in the yard, running around, yelling on the top of their lungs just to get their attention, rolling in the dirt, and here's a guy that's probably did 20, 25 years in prison, on his knees, playing with the dogs, getting dirty himself. And I never really thought, let alone see a dog in prison. But so seeing these guys actually act the kid at heart, being who they are probably out there before they're, you know, a little mix-up, and actually being that, I actually honestly truly desired that, to be a human, to be normal, to a sense. And so I jumped on an opportunity. And it was a challenge, and I promised myself I was going to challenge myself. And that's one thing I told myself I would do.
You know, the program, the way the program's changed me, honestly, it's really I think the hugest part has been having Nala, right? And before I said it, you know, I had animals prior. I always had a male dog. I don't know why, the big male dog, right? That was always the thing I kind of went towards, or the idea, I guess, that I had. And then when all the puppies came, it was so exciting to see all the golden retrievers and the labs and initially the first dog I really gravitated towards was Delta, because he was the biggest male, and so I thought, wow, that was the dog that I would want to have, right? And actually when we split up the puppies, I had him for the first night, and we were rotating, you know. And then I had Koa, and I had him, and then I thought, oh, well, no, this is the dog I definitely want. And then they actually assigned Nala to me, and I wouldn't have picked the female, but the relationship that me and her have it's crazy. And how I've now, like, I used to be so independent, or in other relationships I've been codependent, right? And then again, like I said, the opposite. Then I isolate and I'm independent by myself. She has really, really helped me almost instantly from our relationship. She's really helped me with that interdependency of me allowing myself to need her, and knowing me giving myself to her needs as well. It's been crazy.
Man, this program has changed me a lot. You know, whether it's some of the stuff I've learned about myself and working with others, but having Jimmy around, it's been a crazy experience. He's different compared to all the other dogs. You know, his personality he always wants to be the center of attention. He's the way he looks at you, it looks like he's always smiling. And whenever he's quiet, you know, he's doing something he's not supposed to be doing. So I'm always, all right, where are you at? Well, what are you doing? So I'm always following him, and I never really thought I'll do that, because it was always about me. But now that I have the responsibility to take care of another living thing, it gives me an opportunity to humble myself and see, hey man, you know, this little guy's been changing me little by little. But it's been great having him around, playing with them, getting to know him, and learning his little quirks and what works for him, what doesn't work for him. How am I going to teach him a certain thing? If he doesn't act this way, I gotta change it up so he could, you know, tune into it.
Yeah.
But it's been fun.
So some of the more recent things now, I've actually it's been really cool. I've had Nala for 10 months now. She's going to be a year next month, and after developing that, you know, that initial bond, and which is constantly evolving, our relationship, and it's really, really cool. But being able to learn like how she is and her personality, I've been able to slowly but surely, through trial and error, figure out, you know, the ways that she learns, and then thinking about, like I talked before, thinking about what would it be like for me to be the actual recipient, right? Because like I said, sometimes you just get in this mode, well, I can completely take care of myself. I got 2 hands and 2 feet, and you know, I can do all that, but I need to think about what her purpose and what her job is. So I think, well, what would it look like if she was there to help me? Like, you know, if I couldn't do just the simplest of tasks throughout the day. So I thought, wow, like I take for granted taking off my own, you know, being able to take off my shoes and my socks and stuff like that, right? So that was something I really started working on. I started with the socks, and now she's just crazy about it. It's really actually hard to put on a sock around her because she gets so excited. She's like, oh, let me take that off, let me take that off. I actually have to tell her after a couple times, okay, well, I need to leave it on now, right? And she understands, you know. So we've gone now from just the socks now to shoes, so she'll do the shoes and the socks. And I thought, well, if I was a person who couldn't actually physically bend over to be able to do that, well, I would probably need help with like my jacket or my pants and all these other things too, so we've advanced to that. And so she's actually now, you know, I can tell her, hey, I want to get ready for bed. Can you help me with these? And she knows, right? So she'll do the shoes and the socks, and then I have an extra pair of pants she'll help take off, you know. Something else that's really cool and really recent is her ability to remember where things are. So we've been using the ball in the lockers. And I ask her, where's your ball? And she'll remember from the day before when we're in the teaching area in the gym to go get it. And so now I'm starting to move it around on her, but letting her see where I'm doing it, you know. So I'm hoping in a few more weeks, month, however long it takes, I'm hoping we'll be able to go into the teaching area, and I can have 2 different items like, you know, keys or pills or whatever the thing that somebody would need help to go retrieve, that she'll be able to remember where that is. So we're working towards that right now.
For Jimmy, and one of the things I'm so proud about him is his crate. You know, before it was, man, he never really wanted to get into it, but man, this dude, he surprised me a lot. Before he used to just halfway crawl in. Now he just wants to go in there just like nothing. He just walk in like nothing, like he owns the place. He's seeing the confidence in him. It surprises me. And the things that he's doing, it's crazy, like identifying objects.
Oh, right.
You know, we'll ask him, all right, we'll have like a little pig, we'll go put it somewhere away, and say, hey, where's your pig at? Where's your pig at? And he'll go look for it, and he'll find it. And it's just he never ceases to surprise me. Like his colors too. There's a couple of times where we ask him, all right, I got a green ball and here's a blue ball. Hey, which one's a green ball? And he'll nudge the green ball. But another thing too is him jumping on benches. Man, he loves jumping on benches before. You know, before he was kind of struggling, but now it's he's willing to do it just like nothing without even asking him to do it. He's doing it.
Cool. So for me, where I would like to be in the future, you know, I guess emotionally, I would say I would like to improve my emotional intelligence. I would just like to be that thing, and I think it's really what Nala and her relationship and our relationship is doing for me. It's allowing me to be that interdependent person, allowing me to be in a place where I can accept help from others without feeling differently about it, and I can feel that I can be giving of myself and be there and be that for somebody else, you know. It's really taking down my pride and my ego, and there's so many things now that I have this little girl, you know, like a little daughter to take care of and stuff, and the way it helps me in my outlook on things, you know. Physically, I would say where I would like to be in the future, hopefully nearer than far, is I would like to be in Harvard University. One of my biggest things is I want to get back out there and do what I was doing before, but go to another level and be able to honestly help people. All the gaps that I saw and the resources that I had and the resources I allowed and the people I didn't allow into my life, I want to be able to create something like that to meet those needs and to fill those gaps for other people. And this program and the relationship with her is going to allow me to be able to build the relationships I'm going to have to be able to get to that place and be able to get that education, to be able to do that to the level that I want to.
You know, as for me in the near future, I'd like to work on actually be more humble. You know, be more humble, be selfless, and more considerate of others. You know, like I said before, I mentioned earlier, I was a total exact opposite. But I like to be able to mend bridges that I've broken before, and as for physically trying to make amends where I can't. If I can't make amends towards towards actually harm, we try to do it indirectly through my actions. Whether it's helping out in the community, whether it's helping out at schools or the youth, I want to be a part of the community and at least try to give back, right? And I spent so much of my time taking. Now I just want to change things up and actually give back now and help out wherever I can.
Right, cool. Well, thank you for listening to our stories and learning more about us. If you guys want to know more about the program or help support us, we're at www.newlifek9s.org. Thank you again.
Thank you.